have my release on. One of them was a shooter. I'll tell y'all about it later. What you do? You ready for some breakfast? Alright, y'all, so me and PJ had breakfast. Let's talk about this morning's hunt real quick. So I got in there about my normal time, just right breaking daylight. I'm not one of them that's normally, sometimes I will, but not normally in there an hour or so before daylight. But anyway, I got in there, snuck in there, got up in the tree, didn't jump, spook anything. I said, boy, we are in business. So I got my, let's see, I had my bow on the ground, tied up to my pull-up rope. Got my camera arm on, got my camera set up, pulled my bow up, and I've gotten to where most of the time I take my quiver off and just hang it up. I don't know, I kind of debate on that sometime. I would have had another shot at that big deer the other day if I'd have had my quiver on my bow to grab an arrow real quick. But anyway, so I had taken, let's see, I had my camera arm up, all that was ready over here on my right side. And I had just taken my quiver off the bow, that Matthews, it kind of rolls in there in that clip. And I heard something, and I mean, it's just barely can see. And I look, it's over to my left where I'm hoping they come from. And I tell it's a deer walking. This done got so close, I mean, I can't move now. And it's, as they're milling around, it's breaking daylight. About that time I see horns, and I'm sitting here, got my bow and my quiver in my lap. My release is in my pocket. I can't even move to reach the camera to cut it on. So it was an 8-point that was a super nice deer. I wish I could have got him on film, but probably, I don't know, he was the 3, maybe a 4-year-old. And then I looked behind him, I knew a big deer that's in there, or an old deer. And I looked behind him 20 yards or so, I heard another one coming. They had kind of come down the edge of some pines where it was quiet, and then when they hit them hardwoods, they got in them leaves, and I could hear them walking. And when they, I done got chilled when they hit them hardwoods, they wasn't but about 50 yards, so I had to be still. Anyway, so he comes in there, and later on when I videoed that buck come walking by, I think I got him on there, it's about 8, it ain't no more than 8 yards from the tree where he walked by. 8, 9 yards, it ain't 10. Well, this first 8-point, maybe a 4-year-old, he's standing right there at 7, 8 yards, looks right at me, knows something ain't right, but they never spooked. And he was looking, and I could cut my eye over and see the other one back up there. And I could barely, it was still kind of dark enough, I could just barely see. I knew he had a rack, but it was dark. But I could see his body, and I'm sitting there thinking, there he is. Mature deer, needs to be shot. I ain't got my release on. So I'm not sure that if this other one's gonna spook or not. But anyway, over here to my right, y'all can probably see when I'm filming later, trying to film some of them deer. I got a lot of cover there, which was really good. So the younger 8-point got by me, and I could cut over, and he was still trying to figure me out. He knew I wasn't right, but they couldn't smell me. If they can't smell you, you got a chance. But anyway, he finally eased on, And one thing I've noticed, if you get in there tight with an old deer and do things right, when that old deer came through there, he come right spot, 7, 8 yards, I'm sitting there. If everything would have, if I'd have been ready, I mean, if I'd have made the shot, it'd have been over with. But anyway, I've noticed them older deer, you get in there and get in there tight with them, you know, not on a field, in the woods with them, and they kind of let them, if they with another deer like that, they kind of let him do most all the looking and all. That older one never paid no attention. And a lot of times if they come through there in a situation like that by themselves, it's once you get in there and have that nose right and he's in there somewhere he's comfortable, I ain't gonna say it's easy, but a lot of times it's easier to get things done on an older buck than it is a younger one or a bunch of does. But anyway, he come on by and I was about sick. I'm talking about sick. This old deer, he ain't gonna score nothing. He might be, I don't know, he might score 110 maybe, probably not, but he is a 210, 20-pound mature deer. He's just one of them that's not gonna make a big old rack. I mean, we're just pretty much down here now. You know, time to time people comment, need to call that and call this, and we're not shooting anything till he's mature. and our little simple rule down here we're doing right now is he's got to be 200 pounds or better. And pretty much down here, when they get to 200 pounds, they're gonna be mature. They're gonna be that 5, 6, 7-year-old. Got several down here that's gonna be that 6, 7-year-old. 220, 230 pounds. So if we get them before the rut, before they lose some weight. But that's just an example of I needed to be ready, and I needed to get that deer out of the program as quick as possible, and I wasn't ready this morning. But super hunt anyway. Had them two come by, then I ended up having maybe another one come this way and then one this way, and there's a little old trail out there. 2 went down that way. I think I ended up seeing 5, but I was covered up in bucks this morning, and back over my right shoulder I saw a deer, and I think it was a doe. I'm not sure. One of the bucks was kind of walking that way, and the way it acted, I think it was a doe. I'm sure my nose, I got out of the shower last night, my nose was pouring again. But anyway, a super little old hunt. I hate I didn't get them first 2 on film. I wanted to get the camera on, because I couldn't do nothing and have my release on. So been a good opportunity to be sitting there with my recurve in my lap. All I had to do was grab the string. Oh, it'd have been the perfect shot for that. I need to do that, and I hadn't practiced with it, and I'm not going with it if I don't practice. Especially no better than I can shoot this doggone compound here lately. So anyway, me and PJ's fixing to do a little something. I'm gonna end up, I pulled my stand out. I ain't crazy about staying in somewhere a couple of times, 2 or 3 times like that. Certain places I will, but I like jumping around, and them deer come back through, they're gonna end up smelling where I was at, and they'll be fine. Let's give it a little more time to kind of settle back down, then we'll ease back in there. But we got a few things we're gonna do, and then we'll see what we can get into. All right, y'all, let's get to today's Bible verse. Still on the word power. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of timidity, but of power and love and discipline. All right, y'all, had a super hunt this morning. And most of the best part, I didn't even get to get on film. About 2 minutes saved that deer from getting an arrow flung at him. But anyway, we'll get a shot at him again. That's bright, maybe. But anyway, a super morning, a good day. I meant to carry my camera with me earlier. I got my stand hung back up for the next day. Next morning we get to go and keep jumping around. We're gonna keep getting on them, trying to get on them anyway. Appreciate y'all watching. Out of here.